I'm here with Lindsay Major, and we are here to talk about her book, Lindsay Hughes Cooper, from 2021, about your aunt.
Yes.
What made you decide, as a layperson writer, this first book, that her life needed to be counted and nailed down?
Well, thank you for asking. A friend of mine, whom I had known for quite a long time, just out of the blue, she said, "Lindsay, your aunt is an iconic figure over at the Nelson Museum." And I was like, ooh. And she said, "You should write a book about her." Well, I had never thought of this. It would never have occurred to me. But so I had to let it kind of digest for a while. And then I went over to the Nelson-Atkins Museum, which is our beautiful museum there in Kansas City. And I made an appointment with the archivist. And I didn't know how much they might have, but when I got there, there was a long table just filled with bins. They had every letter she had ever written, any memorandum, anything. I mean, it was staggering. And I started researching it. I had a ball doing it. And then, I could have researched, I'd still be researching.
Right.
And then COVID came. I could no longer get into the archive. The museum shut down, so I actually had to sit down and write. And that's how I did it.
It's amazing. And she must have had an effect on you personally.
Well, I actually knew her. I mean, I did have a lot of exposure to her. I was her namesake. But I regret terribly that by the time I started this book, she was gone. I never interviewed her.
Right.
I never asked the questions I would have loved to have asked if she had been there. So in a way, she was a little bit of an unknowable person. In a way, I need to do more research.
But what's some of the characteristics that you do from just personal things that you recall about her?
She was very determined. Her story is that, of course, this was back in the 30s and 40s when she was at the Nelson.
And they were all men that did this, right?
Oh, yeah. Women had no status at all, particularly in the museum world. And I just followed her path from doing anything that she was asked to do, like mending of robes, whatever, to becoming a real authority on Asian art. And during World War II, she was the acting curator of the Asian collection there at the Nelson, and that was their most important part of their museum. And then when the men came back, at that point she was 38. She got married, she moved to New York, she worked for a C.T. Liu, who was the most prominent Asian art dealer in the world. And then she ended up back at the Nelson years later when they had this, the archaeological finds of the People's Republic of China. That was an amazing exhibit. That was back in the 70s, and she gave, I don't know how many lectures. She was very, very well spoken, and gave great lectures, wrote beautiful letters, and I'm glad I had an opportunity to get to know her better through the research. And
then since then, I'm sure a lot of people have also been able to come to you and appreciate what you did or didn't know, right?
Well, the Nelson really has been lovely about the book. They've appreciated it, and this cover.
She's a bit of an Annie Mae.
Not really.
Not really, but from that it would make me think.
I found this photograph in the museum director's file. Had her name, but it didn't give any information about what was going on. Well, here's this elaborate beautiful robe that she was wearing. We don't really know anything more about it, but I thought, oh, what a great picture for the cover of the book. And at the Nelson, they have this on a shelf in the bookshop, and they have got a little picture of, a little statue of the thinker
Yeah.
looking at the book, because, she's got that thinker
Yes, no, it's
stand.
good.
So I thought that was
Yeah, it's very much
very
of its
darling
time.
of them.
That is very neat. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate
thank
the time.
you, darling.
Oh, gosh, great. Thanks.